Bonjour, and welcome back to my channel, The Waves of Your Soul. In today's video, I want to talk about more good mood decks. I have found myself with the predicament of, can you do a VR to your own hashtag? Asking for a friend. I'm the friend. I don't know what the rules are. What is the rule here on TarotTube? Can you do a VR to your own hashtag? Because hear me out. I launched the hashtag Good Mood Decks, where we're showing decks, oracle and tarot as much as you want. If you don't have much to share, you can share individual cards that put you in a good mood, that make you happy, that give you a oomph, that put a spring in your step. I started that hashtag earlier in July. There's been a lot of VR. It's been so much fun. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined, who's doing VR, who's sharing on Instagram. It's been such a joy train that after watching all of the VRs, I've realized I missed so many decks off of my original video, and now I want to do a VR to myself. Is that allowed? Can I do that? Is it less obnoxious if I call this a part 2 rather than a VR to myself? It doesn't matter. I just wanted to share more good mood decks. Everyone has been sharing so many good ones, making me realize I'm a dum-dum for forgetting so many good ones in my own tarot collection. And if it is your first time here, hi, my name is Marine. I'm a French tarot reader and a lover of everything tarot, oracle and self-empowerment related. On this channel, we talk a lot about tarot and oracle decks, and I also love sharing empowering tarot readings, pick a card readings, all around the line of helping you to help yourself. So that's what we do here. If you'd like to see any of that on your timeline, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If this video makes you smile, you can give it a thumbs up. If you've not shared your good mood decks or good mood cards yet, you can do so on Instagram. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. You can just put a picture, you can tag me, you can use the hashtag Good Mood Decks, Instagram, YouTube. It's been super fun. I'm checking out every video that we use the right hashtag. If there are any that I've missed, if you've done one and I've not commented on your video, because I comment on every single one of the ones I've watched, then let me know down below and I'll be sure to check your VR out. But without further ado, let's get into So I was established in the intro, I'm doing a VR to myself because after watching everyone else's VRs, I realized I had forgotten many good mood decks in my collection. I'm gonna share tarot and oracle decks. There's gonna be indie and mass market as per usual. All of the names of the decks I'm showing are in the description box below. My original description of good mood decks that I still stand by are decks that make us happy, that give us a shot of vitamin C. They're not necessarily decks that hug you, heal you, comfort you, although some might do both for you. Some might be both good mood decks and healing / hug decks. You'll know what resonates for you for that. But really here, I'm more talking anyway, personally for me, decks that put a smile on my face. When I use them, they make me smile. The first one I want to talk about that I completely forgot to share in my first video, this one, what is this even called? Theo Rider Tarot Collection in the black box. There are different boxes, different colors. The one I have is a black box because the color of the box determines the color of the deck. This is an indie deck by Wheel of Fortune Tarot, and I never know what it's called because it sits like this, the full facing me in my tarot shelves, because I find it so beautiful. So I never really look at the name of this. This is a good mood deck because it's literally an RWS clone in plastic cards. Here are the backs, and I mean, when I mean plastic, I mean plastic, like literally take a bath, take it to the beach, read your card in the ocean, plastic, like the kind of plastic that it's gonna float, it's gonna be totally waterproof, and you can use it by the river, you can use it by the ocean, you can use it in your bath, and that puts me in a great mood, because who doesn't want to read tarot in your bath or on the beach, which I have done many times. And let me tell you, when there's like a little bit of a wave that comes higher and suddenly like your cards might get wet, or someone is just dripping wet and they want to look at your card and you're like, please don't, but it's too late, they've already grabbed it with their wet hands. This is the perfect one to take outdoor because it's plastic. So, you know, when the world ends, this will stay with Cher and cockroaches, and I feel happy about that. The remaining of humanity. plastic tarot decks, cockroaches, and share. And you know what? That's fantastic. I feel like that's all the future this generation needs really to start afresh. Purely RWS clone. And look at these colors. Those colors are fabulous. I love the purples. I love that it feels kind of like shiny and pretty, and my inner magpie is squealing for this deck. It is super fun. I love this purple hermit. I love to take this outdoors, and so how could I forget this? I think I forgot it because it was in my bag to use outdoors. So that's probably why. But it makes me super happy because it's like my indestructible RWS. I mean, I don't know if it's really indestructible, okay? Don't try and like put it in a bonfire or gun at it. Like, I'm not telling you to to go full on Terminator on your deck. I'm just saying it's a lot more resistant than the paper deck, and I appreciate that. The fact that it's plastic, it literally will slide everywhere, so that's also super fun. And whilst you're trying to grab the whole of the deck, you have time to question your existence on Earth, what you're doing here, what is the meaning of life, and that's also really fun, right? Wasting 5 hours to grab your deck to put it back in the box. That's always a good mood. Let's move on to another little indie deck that just makes me so happy, puts a smile on my face. It's Tarot by Caro. I've had it since the end of last year. I bought it on Roi de Coupe, which is a French-based indie shop, or shop dedicated for indie decks rather. Really cool. It has a lot of great collection of decks, like indie decks and stuff you can get. Especially worth it if you live in Europe. And this is what the box looks like. But you can get this straight from Tarot by Caro as well. I'll leave the link below for those of you who are interested. This deck is just wonderful. It is, again, RWS inspired because that's my preferred system, as we probably all know. I've edged my copy in red. Here are the backs. The elements are fully present here. So when it's the fire suit, the people are literally on fire. When we're in the pentacle suit, there are roots growing out of people. When we're in the sword suits, which is linked to air, the dresses of people are made out of cloud, for example. It's very elemental. I find so much joy in this deck. I love the vibe. Really love the vibe. Look at this Queen of Cups, like I was saying, literally her hair is turning into seaweed. I love that. The colors are bright. The artwork is a delight. It is just full of life. For me, it's one of those that I can use for absolutely every kind of reading. It would be great for career reading, it would be great for romantic reading, it would be great for spiritual reading. It's just one I feel like is good for everything and everyone. This star card is maybe one of my favorite star cards ever. I need to do the tag by Niha about the favorite majors, and this is a contender for sure. I really adore this deck. It makes me super happy. I love the colors. I love that are some cards have a twist, like this Four of Swords. It's not just about rest. It's about us living off what our ancestors built for us, and it's about heritage as well, and knowing when to stop, and knowing when to appreciate, and knowing when to have gratitude for everything that brought us to where we are. I find that really beautiful, this idea of genealogy here. So there's a lot of like little hidden gems in this deck. There are people of different ethnicity. This is also maybe one of my favorite magicians ever. I really want starry gloves. Where can I find them, please? Someone comment down below. I need those in my life, and yeah, this makes me super happy. Let's move on to an oracle deck that someone, I'm sorry I forgot who, because I watched so many VRs, and when they were sharing it I was like, oh my god, yes, of course, how could I forget that? So if you're watching this, thank you for reminding me how good mood this deck is. This is the Had to Be a Wildflower deck by Katie Daisy, and this is, again, it's a joy. This is a mass market, I guess we could call it an oracle deck, an affirmation deck, a journaling prompt deck. It serves multi-purpose, but what makes me happy about this deck truly is just the artwork. The artwork is delightful, the size of the card is delightful, and the whole vibe is just a good time. As you can see, the sides are slightly elongated. I like that. I think it's cool. And then on every card you get an image, a different image for every single card, in that very particular art style that is like Katie Daisy's ones. And then on the back you get quotes or a little text. So here it says, "I long for salt hair in my hair." That is just rude to French people trying to say that. because you know I'm gonna put the H in the wrong one. I long for salt air in my hair. That's just a struggle. Forage for beauty. That's gorgeous. So some of them are little, I would say, prompts. Some of them are more quotes from poets or famous people. And honestly, what makes me happy about this deck is just the artwork. The artwork is just, look at this. It's beautiful. It's like you're taking a walk in someone's garden. There's like a lot of life, a lot of animals and greenery here, and it makes me truly happy. What's this one says? Shine your brilliant light. I love using those for pick a card readings when it's about choosing your pile. I find the images really beautiful. People enjoy being drawn to them. And then it's nice because at the end of the reading we can check out the back and you get a one last message. I enjoy them for just like, I'll pull one a week and I put it in one of my little card holders that I have in my room, and so every day I'll be reminded of the message, and it's just a nice little moment of mindfulness I give myself, and I change the card every week. Is it the most deep oracle I have? No. But is it one that brings a ton of joy? Yes, absolutely. Fairly affordable as well. I think, at least when I got it, it was really affordable. So I think it would make a really cute gift as well, even to someone who's not super into cards, but they like journaling and they like to have nice little things around and they like to have little daily message. Let's move on to a French deck. Of course, the mandatory French deck of Marine's videos. You know, I have to put a French deck in there because I feel like not a lot of you may know them, unless obviously you're French speaking, and I want to help you discover other decks that maybe you don't know that you could enjoy. I find there's a lot of power in using decks from another culture, from another language. I really enjoy doing that, so I'm spreading the love. Here it's called Mon Oracle de l'âme. It's a mass market French deck. The name of the edition, the publication company is Lotus et l'Éléphant. Little box like this, they have a crystal one, an angel one, and this one, Mon Oracle Magique de l'âme, literally translates to my magical oracle of the soul. So it's their more general kind of oracle deck, and it retails for 12.90 € in France, which I think is super affordable. I've rarely seen an oracle deck that costs that little. It comes with a really good little guidebook for every single card. You get the keyword, you get a message, you get an action, and you get a mantra. Everything you need right here. It's in French obviously, but as you can see, it's not too big. It would be very easy to translate, and honestly, the images speak for themselves, that I feel like even a non-French speaker would probably enjoy using this deck, because the images are just so telling. The backs are gorgeous, one of my favorite backings. I love this purple. Really gorgeous, really modern. This is an all-around good mood oracle deck because it's just a really good general empowering deck that will mention all sorts of subjects. Here we have duality, harmony, but the vibes, the modern vibes, the colors, it's just good vibes. This is a great one to clarify. This is a great one to use on its own. It's a great one to use with your modern decks, such as the Neo Tarot, the Good Karma Tarot, the Light Seers, the Bright Future, any kind of like the Modern Witch or the Happy Tarot, even the Kitty Kahani, like any kind of deck that is set in that kind of modern, colorful world, it would be great to pair. I love the fact that there's people from different ethnicities in this deck. There's different body shapes in this deck. It doesn't veer away from heavier themes, such as here we have grief, but overall the vibe is just a delight. Here we have evolution, self-love, energy, choice. I also really appreciate that there's like male presenting figures and female presenting figures, because I've noticed more and more a lot of oracle decks feel very female presenting, so I appreciate that there's a bit of everything here. I love those kind of cards like this, you know, it feels like what I want, and I really enjoy the fact that there's like a mantra for every card, that there's an action for every, not necessarily in a healing way, although it can be, but also in a you've got this girl kind of way, and I really appreciate it. Let's move on to an indie oracle deck. This is the Begin Oracle, and how could I forget this from my previous video? I don't know, I guess this is a general theme, like how could I forget? I'm a dum-dum sometimes, like most of the time, and I really am pissed at myself for forgetting this, because this is literally one of my favorite oracle decks ever. It's the Begin Oracle by Little Magic Herbal Shop. I found this on Etsy. I know that sometimes it goes out of print and sometimes she brings it back. So I think the best thing is to contact the creator if you're interested and see like when she's reprinting it. Because I have noticed it goes through those phases where for a while you don't see it and then it comes back. This is like indie, so you know, sometimes for little creators they can't necessarily afford to do big printings at once, which is totally fair. It comes with a really great guidebook that is somewhere in my room. I can't be bothered to go get it, but just trust me when I'm saying it comes with a really large guidebook with a ton of information for each of the cards, astrological associations, journaling prompts, little meditation, crystal allies, like it's a whole vibe. One of my favorite oracle decks ever. If I had to keep only 10 decks, this would be part of it. I can't be without this deck. It's just a joy. I love the artwork so much. It's a collage style. It has a lot of cards, 72, so that also is awesome. I'm greedy, I like oracle decks with lots of cards. There's something between me and this deck that I can't quite explain. We just have this connection that I know I can always go back to, and it's gonna be there for me. So this is an everything deck. This is a healing deck. This is a good mood deck. This is a shadow work deck. This is an everything deck for me because it just is, it always does what I need it to, but no matter when I use it or how I use it, it will always provide me with so much joy because of that connection we have, because of how much I enjoy the artwork, because of all the hands there are in there, and I love hands. I don't know why. I find hands really beautiful in oracle deck and stuff. I love mushrooms, I love crystals, so there's a lot here that is very my aesthetic. So this I could share you every card and I would be happy spending time just sharing every card with you. I won't, but it definitely is one that it's an all-time favorite, so of course it brings me so much joy, and it's a good mood deck because I'm just so happy that this exists. I guess this is why this is such a good mood deck, because I'm just so grateful and happy deck exists, and I'm grateful that I own it, and I'm grateful for all of the wonderful creators out there that create beautiful, amazing things. Next little deck I want to mention in this is Music Genius playing cards. This was a present from a friend and I find it delightful. This is a little playing card deck. It's mass market, I believe. You can find it on Book Depository or Amazon. It looks like this. This is a Music Genius card, so every single card of the card playing is a different musical artist. I love that the Joker is Bowie. Every suit is a different type of music, so for, what do you call that in English? I have a brain fart right now. In French we call it carreau. What do you call that? We have spades, that's not it. Hearts, that's not it. Diamonds. So diamonds are folk and country. Spades are, is that spades? Yeah, I think so. Rock and roll. Hearts are pop, and clubs are blues, soul, and R&B. And literally every card is a different artist. So the way I've used this deck for now, because like I said, I don't know how to read playing cards, is that I've been pulling a card in the idea of I listen to a song of that artist and it's gonna give me a message. Imagine like bibliomancy, but with song lyrics. What do you call that? Lyricomancy? I don't know how you say that. But literally, I would pull a card, I would type the artist on YouTube or on whatever way you listen to music, Spotify, whatever, and then I will choose a song that calls to me, not necessarily one that I know, maybe one that I know, but one that calls to me, and then I will see if there's a message there for me, either in the lyrics, in the music. I find that music can be so healing. I find the power music just really amazing, and so I've loved using that for that. I've used it in pick a card readings as well, and said, you know, like as a way for to wrap up the reading for people to do the same. They choose a song from the artist at random. I love that there's Nina Simone in there, and Amy Winehouse. Yeah, so you can choose a song and see if they get a message out of it, and it's just a joy. Like, I love music and I love cards, so what's there not to love? And of course, Queen, our queen is here. Beyonce, we love you. Let's move on to a mass market tarot deck. The Zombie Tarot. Again, I've seen this in somebody's VR. I'm sorry, I forgot. Like I said, I watched so many that I'm forgetting who showed what. If you included this in your VR, thank you so much for reminding me that this is a good mood deck, because it totally is. This is a joy. I've talked about this deck many times on my channel. I really want to like give it more time than just being one of those Halloween decks. It's mass market, I forgot to say. Look at the box, it's super cool. It's called the Zombie Tarot, so of course, as you might guess from the title, this is full of zombies, but not just any zombies. This is like reimagining the zombie apocalypse during, I would say, 1950s, 1960s, so the imagery is quite vintage inspired. And even though this might feel like a little bit gimmicky, it's actually very deep, and it has one of the darkest sense of humor I own in a deck, and yet it is very profound in a very dark, humorous kind of way. So this is why for me this is a good mood deck, because it reminds me not to take life too seriously, and it is a perfect example that very deep, profound messages can be brought to you with lightheartedness, with a healthy dose of laughter, with a healthy dose of don't take yourself too seriously. The big serving of let me make you laugh, but you're still gonna understand what you need to know kind of way. This is it for me. So there's a lot to dig into in terms of like, how do you view yourself and others, not just your family and your friends, but people you don't know. Are you the zombie or are you the human? Who are you in this situation? How do you face change? How do you face difficult situation? There's so much to get into. It can be a bit, like I said, dark humor. Like, look at this Judgment. It has a sense of humor. Look at this Ace of Hazards, which is the equivalent of Pentacles. It's funny, but it's deep. And so for me, this is absolutely a good mood deck. I love this deck, and I love using it when I feel very ill or when I'm not feeling good, because it's the perfect one to meet me where I am. It's like that one where I feel like shit and all the people here are dead, so we belong. It's like we could be in the same world, and it helps me to not look at my situation too seriously. It helps me to put a smile on my face, and it still tells me what I need to know, which is really what I love about this. Okay, let's move on to a little not very well known, I feel like, indie tarot deck. This is a Star Wars tarot, obviously an official tarot deck. It was created by a fan. His Instagram below. I believe since he's created other fandom based deck from other universe, but the one I have is the Star Wars tarot. And what's not to love about a Star Wars tarot? I love Star Wars. This is something that is, look at the backs already with the Death Star and their rebellion ships. They're awesome. I really enjoy Star Wars as a universe. It's something that my dad passed down to me. We would watch Star Wars as a kid, and then it just continued. So it's something that I look very fondly on, because it brings a lot of like happy memories to me. And now obviously there's all the new Star Wars stuff, like the Mandalorian series and the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which I've watched, by the way. What did you guys think? Any of the Star Wars fan out there, what do you think of the new Obi-Wan Kenobi series? I wish they gave us more, like 6 episodes was there. That felt like not enough. Like I said, I'm greedy, I want more. I am obsessed with this fool. I love this fool, I think it's hysterical. Truly for me, what makes this deck sing are the majors. The minor arcana is still good. It's just that the suits have been renamed. Sometimes it takes me a little second, if I've not used the deck for a while, to remember like what is what. Major arcana brings me so much joy. Look at this magician with Jar Jar being so good. And most of the time it's very easy to understand what is going on, to understand like what suit we're referring to. It's just a couple of cards that I'm sometimes hesitating. The Hierophant is called the Holophant. I don't know if we've passed that yet, but it's brilliant. The Lovers is R2D2 with C3PO, which is genius. There you go. Isn't that so much fun? So the Star Wars Tarot, definitely a good mood deck. It's RWS inspired, so it reads really well, but I just love that whole universe. It brings me so much happiness. Hey, stuff with myself, I forgot this, because this is one, as soon as I finished recording my first video, I was like, no, how could I forget? Saw this on my bedside table and was like, oh, well, now you have to make another video. Here we are. This is I always get the name wrong, Holy Spectrum, Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. I have the first edition. This is by Chase Voorhees. I don't even know how you say that, but here you go. There's now another edition out with the box is different, the backs are different. I think a couple of the images have been changed, so watch walkthroughs of it. The overall vibe is very much the same, it's just that it's been fine-tuned, I will say. This is called Tarot of the Holy Spectrum because it is inspired by the light spectrum, like all the colors. And look at this already, this is a good mood, like this is joy right there. So for that reason, mostly, this is a good mood deck. Also, this was one of the first, not but one of the first indie decks I ever bought. So it has that very special thing to me of like investing in something that you want to keep for a long time. I also have a very strong relationship with this deck because I actually took the tarot class that is offered, I don't know if she still does it, but that is offered by Lindsay Mack, who is the creative's partner. She's a fantastic tarot teacher. I think the favorite tarot class I've ever taken, and I've done a few. I've been out there. I'm still learning. I consider myself a constant student, so I love doing a tarot course, but this one for me was truly a standout. And I really vibe with Lindsay's approach to tarot, and obviously Chase being her partner, his tarot deck will reflect her view of tarot. I just feel very seen here, like this is, I feel like I'm welcome here because this is very much my vision of tarot as well. So this deck brings me a lot of joy because of the colors, obviously, but also because of the tarot philosophy that is behind it. Like the archetypes very much reflect how I view tarot myself, and how I view the cards, and I really appreciate it for that. It feels super comfortable to read for me for that reason. It's pretty much always on my bedside table, so that's why I don't show it as much as I should. Penultimate one, let's go. We have another French mass market deck because yes, what's better than one French deck? Two French decks. We have L'Oracle Lumière by Antoinette Charbonnel. The publishing company is called Arcana Sacra, and this is a joy. This is super cool. 26 euros it retails for in France. Obviously, I don't know where you are, if you order it on Amazon.fr and stuff like that, how much it would come to. It comes with a great little guidebook for every single card. You get keywords, you get associations like either element-based or astrological signs, and you get a message. I've never seen a deck like this. I might be just not aware that they exist, but personally I've never seen a deck that does that. Is that it is based on both tarot and the chakras. So the first 22 cards are linked to the tarot major arcana, and then all the cards after that are divided into the 7 chakras. And so I think that this would be really great to use even if you don't speak French, because you know tarot, most of you at least. Some of you, if you want a chakra deck, then would be familiar with chakra work. And so here, for example, we have the sacral chakra card, and we have the image here. For each card you also have little keywords. Here we have a card that is linked to the third eye chakra. It's called a chapel card, and the keywords are guidance and sign. Here is a card linked with, I believe that's the crown chakra card, right? So that's part of the crown chakra family of cards. This, for example, is a Wheel of Fortune, number 10. And all the other cards, depending on the symbol here, will belong to one of the 7 chakra. And I love this deck for what it does. I love the colors, I love the artwork, it's so joyous. It is, for me, one that is both good mood and healing. I love using this deck when I'm not feeling too good. Here is our Empress. I love the fact that there's Marilyn Monroe in this, it's gorgeous. Here we have the Hermit. Isn't it beautiful? We still have his little lamp. The hermit is an oak tree, which I think is kind of perfect, and the keywords are contemplation and solitude. Here we have the willow tree, I believe you call it, and it represents temperance. Yeah, temperance. And the keyword are temperance, healing, and equilibrium. This deck for me both heals me and makes me happy. It's one of those that if I was doing a Venn diagram, it would sit right in the middle. I really enjoy the colors. I really enjoy the artwork. I really enjoy the size. I love to pair it with different tarot and oracle decks. It's a beautiful clarifier. It stands really well on its own. And this is truly for me a deck that deserves to be more known. I feel like so many people would enjoy it. I feel like so many people would resonate with that particular artwork. And the fact that it has a structure that most of us are familiar with, I think is cool. Like, it makes it easier to use. Here's our high priestess, which is a frog. Which, come on, isn't that joyous? Like a frog and a mushroom for the high priestess vibe card. She's called a healer, but the keywords are prophecy, wisdom, and intuition. I love this. I edged my copy in blue, by the way, because I was using this deck. I've had this deck for years, and I've used it so much that it was becoming really dirty. So I've edged my copy in blue, and the backs look like a skull with a little butterfly, which is also, I think, really beautiful. Okay, last deck. We have the Boo Tarot. Now, I couldn't include this in my last video because at the time I had not received my pre-order. As you may know, things take a little bit of time to come to me. That's just what it's like to live in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and especially with the panini and everything, things have gotten way worse. So I did pre-order this deck and it just arrived literally yesterday, so perfect timing. I can now film this video because absolutely this is a good mood deck. So this is by Celia Melville, who is a French artist, indie creator. This is an indie deck. You might see it a little bit everywhere on TarotTube at the moment. I feel like a lot of people are receiving their copy and posting reviews and stuff. But Celia is a French artist. She has a few tarot decks, oracle decks out. She's really beautiful. Everything she does, she puts so much like attention and care, and beautiful. You can tell she cares about what she does a lot. Cards with keywords in French and in English, because she always translates her guidebooks, because she's very popular in English speaking countries as well. The guidebook's the same. You have one side in English and one side in French. I don't know if this deck needs an introduction, because like I said, I feel like a lot of people have seen it already, and it's still in order because I literally received it last night, so I've not had a chance to read with it, but oh my god, does this bring joy. The Boo Tarot is a ghost inspired tarot deck, and the mages all have this little foil that, can I show you this? It sparkles already. My day make. I live for this sparkly ghost right here. This has made my day. I can go to bed now. I go to bed before something shit happens and ruins this perfect moment. But yeah, all the mages are gonna have this beautiful little like sparkly detail, and then the minors are more, you know, regular, but it's literally a tarot deck full of cute ghosts. Like I said, I've only flipped through it, I've not read with it yet, but is this giving me a good mood already? Yes. I love the artwork. I love those little ghosts. They are just so joyous. But I will say I was surprised at how dark some of the cards are. Look, which I love. I love that they're still like, look at this Five of Wands, for example. You can still see the emotions there. The color, the use of color from Celia is just amazing, because the happy cards are so happy, and the more difficult cards, they really stand out. Like, look at this Nine of Swords. It's not as cute. Suddenly it's a different mood. Like, you know you're in trouble. So I appreciate the fact that it's not just cute, although there's definitely a time and place for it. I would be so hypocritical if I said I didn't like cute, because I own a lot of cute, but I just like the fact that this has a good balance. I mean, look at this Ace of Pentacles. It's so cute. I need to show you the Four of Pentacles because I literally burst out laughing when I was flicking through the deck on my own. Such a greedy. He's munching those pentacles away. And I find that hilarious. That is so funny. I feel like that's me and the chocolate cake right there. So that's brilliant. One of my favorite cards of the deck. But look, this is so sad. Like, this is actually a little bit hard to watch. This card, I don't know why. There's something really hard for me to look at with this. It looks painful, it looks sad, and I feel his emotion there. Like, he looks really distressed, and you can see like his claws tearing away. So I'm excited to use this. Overall, it's definitely giving me the vibe of celebrating life and death and not being afraid of what's coming after. And I really appreciate it for that. I think interesting little concept here. Okay, my friends, this is it. Those were my Good Mood decks part 2. VR to myself because I'm an out of control Aries. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the decks that put a smile on my face. Hopefully it brought you a little bit of a good mood vibes. Times are tough. The world is not a kind place. And I just wanted to bring a little bit of joy and happiness to your feed. If you haven't done a VR and you're not sure if you should do it or not, this is your sign to do it. Please. Everyone wants more good mood vibes in their life. If you are going through a little bit of a tough time, just know I am sending you so many hugs. I see you and I value you, and I really hope that you're being kind to yourself. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!